Hi, welcome to City Country 6 podcast. This is where you get to hear inside conversations between city and country about life, kids, womanhood, culture, black southern things. Eavesdrop in on our phone conversations to laugh, cry, amen, disagree, and agree with your bi-weekly dose of what did I just listen to? Let's listen in on this week's most recent phone call of differences.
Hello.
Hey girl, hey.
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay. Are you okay?
No,
Okay. Um
I have lost. Well, okay, I finally found the third set, but the deacon, the almost 4-year-old deacon, has lost my Beats by Dre. Then
Oh,
that's my main set. I love my Beats by Dre. Then I keep a backup pair of Samsung wireless earbuds. Okay,
what?
those are missing too. Then I have a Bluetooth set. That's what I'm on now. And by the way, those first two sets are missing. And then I have an over-the-ear wireless set. It looks like I'm working at like a fast food restaurant, like because it has the extended mic that comes to your mouth. It's like, welcome to your favorite fast food restaurant. May I take your order? That's what I'm. But again, it's wireless. I know it has good sound quality. Okay, cool. That's the backup to the backup. That was missing. I just been walking around for the last 30 minutes looking for those, and I found them in his one of his toy boxes.
And that's probably where the rest of them are.
No, they're not. I looked already.
Oh.
But the other ones are earbuds. So at least this is a whole set, so it's easy to find it. The earbuds, I can't find them. And the Beats by Dre, because it's an Apple product, I can just like put the locator on it and like listen to them ping. But
Right.
I guess they've died. Like the battery's probably dead on them.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
can't locate them.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that other than that, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I just finished doing my hair.
Ooh.
Rehydrating my hair. I've been a bum to my head lately. I've been really seriously just hateful to my head. I don't.
Oh no.
It's been a thing. I don't know why. I've just been neglecting my hair. Um, but I did start back working out and walking.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm trying to, get my life back in order. Um, but that just when I sweat, and it's not a bad habit. It's a good habit to have. But with natural hair, you still don't have to do all that extra washing, rinsing like you would if you had permed hair. And when I get through working out or whatever, I can't do sweaty hair, period. Sweaty head, none of that. And I try to do good by putting like, a headband or something around my head so it can collect the sweat or what. I can't. So I get in the shower and I will at least rinse it. And here lately, I've been forgetting to condition it. And so, yeah, I've been doing like a cheat way, which is like they have this like oil conditioner deal. Like it's old as crap. It's the one in like the brown bottle. I can't think of what it's called.
Oh, it's not a Jerry curl.
No, it's not
Jerry
Jerry
curl
curl.
activator.
It's not that, but it does remind me of that though. But I've been shortchanging myself and doing that for the past week. And
Oh,
yeah, my poor hair was just like, if you don't do it,
I'm jumping. I'm gonna do it.
exactly. I'm jumping off
I'm
right
gonna
now.
I'm gonna jump.
Yeah, so
I'll do it.
I exactly. It was like, hey, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And so I was just trying to take care of my hair. Um,
Oh, good for
so
you.
yeah, so no, it's been I've been a little down in the dumps. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um,
Oh,
but it's
oh,
okay. Oh, don't do that to me. You're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry. I don't want anybody down in the dumps.
No, it's not a fun thing. But it's not over. It's not over headsets or anything like that. You
No,
know,
I'm
when
just
you,
pissed off.
yeah, you just,
That's different. That's different. It's not down in
uh,
the dumps. He's gonna be down in the dumps. I'm sorry. Keep going.
that was a promise, not a threat. Um,
Great assurance.
I hope you are up to date on your tithes, offerings, and your altar calls because you are about to pay.
Oh, you are gonna be down in the dumps. Okay, I'm sorry.
But what I was gonna say is like, all right, so when you're sick, and like for me, I've noticed, okay, this is a mental health kind of a deal, but I've noticed throughout my adult life, when I don't feel good, regardless of what it is, and it's a chronic thing, like let me just use some my back pain. I've had back pain since I was working in retail. Retail is the reason why I have back pain and I have back
Oh,
issues. It was, it's literally tile and concrete. There's no, you know, nothing to keep you while you're walking on concrete or tile. And there's no cushion or anything. It's just literally tile, concrete. That's what you have. And it's horrible on your back. Horrible. And I was pulling heavy, very heavy things. So things that women shouldn't be pulling, not because a woman can't do it, but because we're built a little different. And you just shouldn't be pulling some stuff or carrying certain things. And while I was dealing with that in my early 20s, I realized that's what put me in depression and all that kind of stuff. So later on, now that I'm, a more mature adult, I picked up on, oh, when I don't feel good, I get depressed or I get really anxious. And I just kind of sit there and I get quiet. And I just where I've been for the past week. I've been really just, not down in the dumps, just really quiet because I've just had a lot of pain or just chronic issues that just kept flaring up. And it was like nothing I could do to stop it. I just had to let it do its course while I, healed from it or what have you, and try not to eat certain. And that is the other thing. Like, I know I've said this 1,000 times. I have stomach issues, but that is annoying when you're like, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't eat this. And it's like, but I have to eat or I'm going to be hangry and then I'm going to be in a worse mood. So there's that. And that's just something I picked up on and I've learned how to deal with it. I don't know if it's the most I don't know if it's the most positive thing, but I do know that it's helped me this week. Like I haven't been down for 2 weeks. It was just like part of the week that I was down because I was just like, I don't have the energy to talk. I don't have the energy to. Basically, I turned into an introvert for like 3 or 4 days. I didn't really want
congratulations.
to. No, I hate that feeling. Like people were
Oh,
asking me to do things, and I was just like, ugh, do things.
yay.
Like, no, but that's completely opposite of me. So I put on that, what's that little commercial where they have the little smiley face card on the depression pill commercials? That's what I did. I put on my little face. So I keep doing what I
Oh,
normally do. But
is
then
it
when I
Rick
got home,
Salty? I think it's Rick Salty.
that
I
might
don't
be
know.
it. But I was doing that. And then by the time I got home, I lounged on the couch and I was laying on the couch and I was like, what they call it, doom scrolling on everything, the news, social media, just scrolling. And it's like, why am I doing this? So, but I've gotten better. Today, I woke up in a better mood. My stomach wasn't bothering me. My back wasn't bothering me. And everything else that comes with getting older wasn't bothering me. So that, or I was
Yay.
just mentally more prepared to handle it. But chronic pain that causes depression is a real thing. And it can make a person, especially if you keep going to the doctor and they really don't have answers, they're just putting band-aids on stuff. Yeah, you get depressed and you're like, what is the point? You don't want to go to the doctor, which that's my fault. I should still go. But I'm keeping all my appointments though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not canceling not one.
Okay,
Um,
good.
yeah, no, I don't. No, I'm at that turning point in life where you keep all of your appointments. I'm not on the first and the third
Oh, she's
geriatric,
swiping.
but I'm on that where, okay, you have it, you got to do it.
Yep.
So doing that, it's just when you get in those chronic painful moments and stuff, it can weigh down on your mental. And it's not real for me. There's not really anything anybody can do. I still talk to people. I still ask how people are doing. I just don't indulge in myself. I just kind of get quiet and just think. Because sometimes what triggers it is not even what the real problem is. So, like this last time, it had nothing to do with, like, I was already down and I was already fed up with, everything happening. And it was like something a family member did or something. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. I'm checking out right now. And it's like,
Oh
okay,
my gosh.
yeah. So then I have to sit down and go, okay, why did you check out? Like, why you doing all this stuff? And I have to think about it and sit down and process it and go, okay, there's a reason why you got triggered. Well, I hate to use that word but there's a reason why you got a setback in your growth of, getting mentally better. What is that issue? And so I figured out what it was. It wasn't had nothing to do with what the person did. It just had to do with the fact that I was already spiraling and I didn't really pick up. Like I picked up on it, like, hey, I'm spiraling. I need to do something about it. But at the same time, I was like, well, what am I going to do? And like, do I speed up the toilet bowl swirl or do I just kind of keep pushing it up? Like, what am I going to do? And I don't know. I'll figure that out the next time that bridge comes across. But for now, I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm happy that I'm feeling better. So take care of your mental health. That's
Yes,
my
that's the moral of the story.
that's
And
the
I'm
moral of the
happy you're
story.
feeling better too.
Yeah. Now, how can we get you out of this pissed off mood?
On my earbuds, shoot.
Besides that, because I can't do anything about that. Oh, I remember what it was. Um, so school is starting for some people next week if it hadn't already started this week, and it may be starting the week after, depending on where you go, what state you're in, what they do, and your life. For me,
Yay!
for me, it starts next week. And I'm pretty sure most in the surrounding area, it starts around that time. But my question is, were you one of those kids that looked forward to school?
Oh yeah.
So what made you
Oh my gosh, yes. I still smell this. Oh, I'm sorry. What's the question? Sorry.
no, go ahead, just go with that.
Like I'm already going back. Like I'm so nostalgic and like I almost remember every first day of school, K through 12.
But you can't remember what you had for dinner yesterday.
That's not very memorable.
Not unless it's pot roast and pancakes.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, I do have a question about that, and then I'm gonna come back. It had nothing to do with
okay.
pot roast and pancakes. But for someone
Okay.
who don't like crunch, how are you eating nachos? I already think I have an idea of how you're heating up your nachos, but humor me
How I'm heating them up.
or making them, whatever you do.
Oh, so I eat like loaded nachos.
I know that, but the chip has a crunch. You don't like crunchy things.
By the time, okay, so this is gonna sound bad, but by the time I finish loading it, like the nachos, they're not that crunchy because I put like I do chili cheese nachos or I'll do like the other loaded ones. So it's the tortilla chips at the bottom, and then I make like this black bean pepper, I don't know, like saute. So it's just like bell peppers, red, yellow, green, then onions and poblano peppers and jalapeno peppers. And then I saute
Your
those.
your butt ain't hurting after you eat all that.
Oh my gosh, no. And then, I mean, you take the seeds out of the jalapenos, and poblanos are not really hot. They just have a flavor. And then I put the black beans in there until they'll warm up because they're already cooked, so I don't want them to get mushy. And I season them with all my little spices and stuff. And then, so it's the tortilla chips, and then the bell pepper, onion, black bean mixture. And then, what else do I put on top? Oh, then there's the chopped romaine, lettuce, and then diced tomatoes, and then Taco Bell hot taco sauce, not the mild,
Oh my gosh.
the hot.
That's making my stomach turn
It
already.
tastes so good. So then I put that on there, and mild is okay if that's all you can get, or if that's all you can tolerate. The flavor is there, but I found out that like I don't do spicy, believe it or not. So
I don't believe it.
if I can tolerate the hot, it's not that spicy. Like if
Okay.
something is spicy to me, my tongue will get blisters. So that's what I'm telling you. It really is not that bad. But
Oh.
I've noticed things that are mild, they put a lot of sugar in it. So it's really
Uh,
kind of sweet.
okay.
So I
Okay.
don't get the one like, I think there are like three levels. Hot is the one in the middle. So I put that on there. And then comes um, the diced tomatoes, the chopped green onions, some black olives, and
Olives.
avocado. Oh, avocado,
My
avocado.
gosh. Okay.
And then if you don't have the green onions, you can always do like some diced red onion. And you sprinkle that on top, and that's some good eating. But
That
my point
sounds
is, after it sits there for a few minutes, the chips are not crunchy.
that's
They
so
get
sad.
soft.
That's
Sad. It's
that's so sad.
delicious.
I
And
thought
then,
I thought you put it like you put everything on top and then you like may put it in a stove and some people heat up that way. And that's what makes the chips a little soggy. So that's why I was asking, but no, you don't do it that way. It just
well,
okay.
if when I was eating animal protein, then I would put the chips and shredded cheese
Mm-hmm.
on there, and then I'll put that in the oven so that the cheese can kind of melt. And then I did the same thing, except I would put sour cream on top, obviously. Oh, I forgot the salsa and the pico de gallo.
That gum, you done ate a whole farmer's market.
Yeah, that's why I said like they get pretty soft. And then if you really want to top it off, you get a waffle on the side.
Okay, that's it. I'm done. Next, back to the school thing. Not
But
even.
hold on back to
Mm-mm.
the soggy thing. So like people eat cereal, it's like a bowl of cereal for breakfast.
Yeah.
My favorite is Fruit Loops.
Oh, she.
Well, but when I first got married, I would make the Fruit Loops, like put them in the bowl, and I have to have like a lot of milk. I love milk. So,
Pea milk specifically, right?
well, this is before
Oh,
vegetarian.
okay. Okay.
So skim milk is my thing. I didn't
Oh.
drink.
Mm,
I don't do whole milk, all of the 2% one. No, skim. So anyway, I would
mm.
have my skim milk, and I have to like my cereal has to swim in the milk. And one day, my husband fixed us some cereal. This is before the deacon even was thought about. And he made us some cereal. And he sat down and started eating. He's like, "Are you gonna eat your cereal?" I said, "I'm waiting for it to cook." And he was like, "What? You're waiting on it to cook?" I was like, "Yeah," because I was like getting up, going to put some clothes in the washing machine. I think I went and put the clothes in the dryer. Then I went and got some more and put in the washer. And he was like, "Are you gonna eat your cereal?" I was like, "Yeah, I got it. Just let me start this load of clothes because I'm waiting for my cereal to cook."
I'm
And
gonna.
so by the time I sat down to eat, he's like, "You gonna eat it now?" I was like, "Yeah, it's done. It's ready to eat."
Oh
He's
my
like, "What are you talking
gosh.
about?" And he was done. I was like, "You ate that?" I was like, "You ate crunchy cereal?" He was like, "You better eat soggy cereal." I was like, "Well, I can't eat it crunchy. That's nasty. I have to wait till it cooks. It has to get soft first."
Oh my goodness. I can't. The fact that you liked Fruit Loops on top of all that, that's
Oh
just.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Now, not this. The new Fruit Loops are horrible. I'm talking about 1985 to 2002. Those were the best Fruit
A
Loops.
specific time period.
85 to 2002. Those were the Fruit Loops.
Oh my. I'm not even gonna.
I don't know anything made after 2005. I don't know what happened to it. There's all this high fructose corn syrup. We just had sugar back in the day. We didn't have
Yeah,
high fructose corn syrup.
we
We just had sugar. That was it. It was just sugar, granulated sugar.
so okay, to kind of steer us back, because see, I have so many issues with what you just said, because you literally drank skim milk is nothing but water and a drop of milk. That's all skim milk is. They put about 3 drops of whole
That's right.
milk in some distilled water and call it milk. That's what they do.
At least the water was distilled.
And you might as well have taken the faucet off of your sink and just poured it in your bowl of cereal.
No, they took the milk and took all that fat out.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm a whole milk, but then
and left.
again,
Oh my gosh, you drink creamer. You drink watered down glue. It's just thick and it coats your throat. No.
okay, and that's delicious. But back to the
I
thing.
have never even given my child whole milk. That's gross.
That's perfectly fine. I
Mm-mm.
the si-
Why? Why are you a baby cow? Why are you drinking whole milk?
well, when you're raised on a daggum, yes, you eat, you drink from yes. You have I might as
It's like
well as be one. I might as well
you're
as be
down there.
one.
Oh
You're down
gosh.
here in the country. That's what you do. You drink whole milk. That's just it.
The only thing whole milk is good for is churning butter.
Yeah, making your yogurt and whatever else
Yeah,
nasty
yeah, yeah.
plummets you
There you
in.
go.
No.
No, no,
Anyways,
yogurt is delicious, by the way. But continue.
whatever. Um, you're okay to kind of get us back on track because I just
All right.
that went
First,
yeah.
first day of school. Sorry, first day
First
of
day of
school.
school, but the
I ate
cereal
cereal.
thing where you were eating cereal. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So like, what was your breakfast for your first day and consecutive days after?
Uh, okay, so elementary school, we actually had delicious food. So I ate breakfast at school. I would like ask to
Uh,
eat breakfast at school.
mm.
And it was 40 cents.
Oh, them the good old days right there.
Yeah.
You got
And
a
that was
full morning worth of
yeah,
breakfast.
that was the full price breakfast. It was 40 cents.
Yeah.
And if
Mm-hmm.
you were on reduced lunch,
It was free, basically.
it was 15 cents.
Free.
And then,
Just,
well, I mean, it was reduced. And
mm,
then obviously free lunch was free.
mm-hmm,
But I had to pay for my lunch, my breakfast, but it was 40 cents.
mm-hmm.
And like they would have like real breakfast. My favorite thing they would serve for breakfast was butter toast, um, and then cheese grits, and then they would have like bacon bits on top of the cheese grits and eggs.
Mm,
But I never
mm.
ate the eggs because the eggs were not. I don't do the carton.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
have to have shelled eggs. So I never ate that, but I
Yeah.
would just eat the butter toast. And when I say butter toast, it was like so much butter in the toast that you could
Mm-hmm.
it was translucent. You could see through the bread.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they had apple jelly. And I thought apple jelly was so fancy because at our house we only had grape.
Yeah.
And I wanted the rich people jelly. So I would always look forward to butter toast days and cheese grits with the bacon bits on top. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh. And I can
Yep.
taste it to this day.
I hate bacon bits, but anyways, they don't do bacon any justice. I mean, they're good in a pinch, but yeah, I could imagine that. I used to want that school lunch. I was not, I'm not saying I wasn't allowed, but my mother was a little more conservative in the fact that basically, if you needed a school lunch, that means you didn't have time to eat lunch. I mean, not lunch, breakfast. You didn't have time to eat breakfast at home. And she was like, no, for your first day, I'm going to get you right. You know, you're going to have a hot meal for breakfast on your first day. Now, every day after that, good luck. I hope you find some cereal and milk. And that
What?
would be the mornings where I'd be like, oh, I would love to have, what they're having because I mean, it looked good. It smelled great too. But my mom was like, no, I pay for groceries in this house. This is what you have. I can't afford, to pay for, well, at the time it was just me. But even then it was just not enough money for me to have. And I think when she was trying to apply for us to have that, um, where I live, they're just very not nice people to certain groups of people. So they would say that she made too much or we made too much. And it's like, dude, we're barely making ends meet. How do you figure you make too much? You can't even get it. So, but I was very jealous of the school breakfast. That was like the best breakfast this
Mhm.
side of the Mississippi. I'm just like, it was
Oh, not on
good.
this side, is it? What if it's on
No,
the other?
maybe it's
What
on
if
the
it's on
other
the other
side.
side?
It's on the other side of Mississippi, not this
It's
side.
on the other side.
So there was some man. I would love now when we got a little older, then we got the sausage biscuit, the ones you'd get from Sam's, the prepaid, the ones you pop in the microwave.
Oh no.
Yeah, we get those now. And if my mom felt Froggy, you
Mm-mm.
might get some scrambled eggs with it, but if not, that's all you
Mm-mm.
had for breakfast. And I used to hate them things because I never could get it
Yes,
just
they were
right.
nasty. Then they'll
And
get hard.
exact the biscuit would get hard,
I'm
or it
not
would
so
be
good.
it'd be so chewy, it'd be ridiculous.
Mm-mm. I know
I
exactly
used,
what you. Yeah, my
yeah,
brother used to love those things, and I couldn't stand them.
my brother did too. My brother would eat 2 packs
Oh my
easy.
gosh, that's high blood pressure.
Dry as all get out. I'm like, I need some jelly syrup, honey, something. you know, he
Mm-mm.
would just sit there and be what ah. But anyways, that was my school lunch, not school lunch, school. I keep saying school lunch, breakfast. We'd get one good one the first day, send us off, and then after that, Pop Tarts, cereal,
No.
jelly toast. Yeah, mainly because we wouldn't get up. That was one of our biggest issues. We wouldn't get up early enough, and after my mom has 4 kids, she got to cook. And then here's something else we would do, especially on the weekends, because we were so used to getting up early, we wouldn't sleep in a lot. Um, we'd have a bowl of cereal, and mom wake up around 9, 10 o'clock. And I was like, "Y'all want some pancakes?" We're like, "Sure." So we got second
Of
breakfast.
course.
Yeah, I'm not gonna turn down pancakes, biscuits. Yeah. And if she made enough, which 9 times out of 10 she didn't, because 4 kids, we come back for seconds and thirds. Then we'd have something, for the week, but nothing hot and ready every morning for school. No way.
That's interesting. Okay, so elementary school, I liked the breakfast, which my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so
Mm-hmm.
she would have cooked if I wanted it, but I didn't. I wanted to eat at school with my friends. But when I got to middle school, I went to a different school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to private school. They did not have breakfast.
Oh.
They didn't offer school breakfast.
Mm.
And oddly enough, too, at my school for elementary, I would take my lunch. I didn't like the lunch. I just liked the breakfast.
Yeah, lunch was trash unless it was pizza day.
Say, okay, I can't stand that. That was horrible.
I loved it.
I can't, like, I smell it to this day and I cannot stand the smell of it. But when I got to middle school, they didn't have breakfast, but they had really good lunch. So my dad would just always stop us by Burger King
Mm.
because we
Mm.
love Burger King's breakfast.
Yeah, they got some good breakfast.
So, like, and my mom, yeah, dad did drop off duty and my
Mm.
mom did pick up. So, yeah, my dad would just, like, that was the deal. If you want breakfast, you had to be out of the house. I think we had to be out by 7 o'clock.
Mm.
And that would give us time, like, because we would go and sit down and eat breakfast in Burger King
Oh,
and
wow.
then go to school. And so that was good until high school. I went to public high school, but a different school system.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like the same thing, but we would change it up and go like it was a Hardee's, a Burger King, or McDonald's, just wherever we wanted
Yeah.
to go. We would just stop and get breakfast on the way,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, we would eat there and then go to school in the
Mm.
mornings.
That's nice.
But
That's nice.
during the week, nobody really cooked. So my point was, you said cereal was a breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in eating food. Like I have to eat, even to this day, I'm not a snacker. Like if I'm gonna eat, I want a plate. So cereal, if I'm hungry, I'll eat a bowl of cereal while I'm cooking dinner. Or
What?
I might, I'm not, cereal is not the meal.
What?
Cereal is to make sure my blood sugars don't get a little low. So cereal to me is not necessary. It's not chips. It's not a snack like that. Like to me, chips is just unless it's going with a sandwich, I'm not just gonna eat chips. That's like empty calories. Like that's not gonna do anything for me. But cereal at least is like sugar and the milk is the protein. So it's more of a substantial stopgap until I can eat the meal. But I'm just not gonna eat a bowl of cereal and say, oh, I'm so satisfied. No. So that's
Okay.
not breakfast to me. That's not breakfast. That's an appetizer. That's what it is. Cereal is an
Wow.
appetizer
The
before the
bouginess,
meal.
bouginess
That's
of
what it
city.
is.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
not bougie. I mean, I eat the same cereal you eat. Like whatever. What do you eat? Do you eat cereal now, or when you were a kid? What did you
Yeah.
eat?
Oh, when I was a kid, man, before I before let's see,
Oh gosh.
before Wick, no, after Wick, it was Look, all we had was kicks.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
After after WIC,
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
after
not laughing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
no,
sorry.
it's funny. It's fun. I mean, it helped us get through. I ain't gonna lie. Now that government cheese and all that helped us get through. But
I did
it
not
was
know. Wait a minute. Your mom was married. I thought you can't get WIC if you're married. You can get WIC when you're married.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
you're serious.
yeah. I got WIC. Had WIC.
I
Yeah.
didn't think you could get WIC if you were like if it was two incomes in the household, like
There was not
two
no.
adults. I mean, it's two
See,
adults.
okay, well, my mom wasn't working, so there was only one source of income, and we got. I remember because I remember the checks and everything. I remember what cereal we had to get, and I remember when my mom said, "No, you can't have it," because I wanted Frosted Flakes or I wanted Cocoa Pebbles, and couldn't get that because it wasn't WIC approved. So we can only get Kicks, and man, the sugar we put on Kicks to make it go down, or Cheerios. Oh, regular Cheerios.
Oh,
None
I
of the
love Cheerios. Those
Mm-mm,
are good.
I put so much sugar in there. I could scoop the sugar up at the bottom of the bowl.
Ew.
Anyways,
That's gross.
that
Okay.
was that was pretty much for our first. I think my first. Yeah, I can't remember how many years we had, but yeah, that was. But the cereal that I like now, my kick right now is Frosted Flakes. That's my kick right now. But I also like chocolate Frosted Flakes, Cocoa Pebbles. I like certain Cheerios. You can kick Special K, you can kick cornflakes. Trying to think what else. I'm not really into anything outside of that because everything else is either too like why are we on food? Anyway,
I don't
uh
know. I just thought I'd ask.
but Captain Crunch used to be one of my big time loved, wanted it until it came up the same way it went down. I can't eat that no more. But
Captain
Captain
Crunch.
Crunch berries. Not all berries, but just berries. I like the berries, but that used to be my thing too. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty plain right now. And the chocolate's only if I just really want chocolate cereal. But no, right now it's
Interesting.
Frosted Flakes. That's my and of course Frosted Flakes isn't the well, and it's not. I don't get the name brand either. I get the off brand because I just want it just for the taste. I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, back to the school thing. As I had another question. Back to the school thing. So you remember going to school? You love
Nobody
going to
eats
school.
fruit rings. Nobody eats fruit rings. I'm sorry.
What fruit rings?
You know, you have Fruit Loops and fruit rings.
Oh, actually, if you get the Walmart kind, it's fruit spins, and that's the kind I get for the kids because I'm not spending name brand on folks who be man. My child might as well get one of them Tupperware bowls worth of cereal and sit in the living room floor and eat like
Okay,
that's what
this
she.
is
Huh?
this is definitely a city country thing.
What
This is interesting. This I'm telling you, like I remember growing up and nobody would eat that.
Fruit Loops?
No, the
Oh,
fruit
frosted
rings.
fruit ring. Oh,
Like to this day, I cannot eat off name brand food.
well,
Like
you
no,
can't have off
it
brain
tastes
brand nothing.
different, but it just tastes. I mean, if that's all you've ever had, then you don't have it to compare it to. But if once you have Fruit Loops, and I'm just using that as an example, it could be anything. It tastes different. It's
No, I'm not.
like
It's true. It's got a
Mott's
different.
applesauce and Great Value applesauce, totally different.
To me, it don't make a difference. But anyway,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
the
Let's
the
back to school. Back to
applesauce,
school.
applesauce don't make a difference. Anyways, yes, back to the school thing. We'll talk about
Sorry.
food all day.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
but okay, you. I didn't particularly care to go to school. I did because I was forced to and I needed to and I had to and I had to have good grades. But my issue wasn't the work. Well, some of the work was the issue because I'm like, what does math have to do with it? But we already know how I feel about math. But my issue was the social thing with school because I would say sheltered. I was in the country. All I really hung out with was my cousins that lived on the land too. Um, I did not get to see a lot of what some of the other kids saw. They lived in these city parts of where I lived. So for them, they saw each other all the time. So for them, it was like, oh, who are you? I'm like, I've been living here all my life. Just because I don't live on these parts doesn't mean I don't live here. And just that not necessarily bullying, but the peer pressure to fit in because you're not, this is a whole different topic, but I'm going to open this Pandora box and go there. But you're not black enough because you don't live on these parts, or you don't do with this, or you don't talk like we talk, or you don't watch what we watch. You're not part of that. And that's the part that I didn't like about school, because now the stuff that I liked in school is now popular and it's fun and interesting, and oh, we can all do this. But during school, that peer pressure of you have to fit in and mold to this group, and you the black kids hang out with the black kids and all this kind of stuff. That is what I did not like, all the way from about last little bit of elementary to high school. Couldn't stand it. I actually, my first, I don't remember my first day of kindergarten, but I remember my first like week of first or second. It was one of those, first or second grade. And I had this kid that would just mean mug me all the time. And I told my mom, I don't want to go to school. This kid is mean to me. He's telling me, my hair looks weird and all this stuff. Now, mind you, I'm not the only black kid in this class, but I was picked on for how I looked by this other kid. And he was just being mean and hateful. Now, granted, at that age, kids are just mean. Like I said, kids are mean, they're hateful, and you shouldn't have to talk to them like, oh, you're so sweet. No, talk to them blankety blanks like they're adults, because that's what they are. They're little adults. And I mean, I really told my mom I didn't want to go. And I stood outside of the classroom one day and the teacher's like, you got to come in. I said, nope, not, I want to go home. I don't want to do this. I don't like it. I don't like school. And it was the social part of it. So for me, school is just not, the education is fine. The social part, I cannot, I just don't like it at all. I understand it's needed to get through life. Because with that, I've learned, there are people that, like, I think my first racist experience was in kindergarten. And I didn't know that's what it was at the time. But I had some little girl tell me that the reason my skin was black is because I ate collard greens. And I looked at her and said, I don't even like collard greens. So get off of me. Like, leave me alone. Like, that makes no sense.
None.
And none, I said none whatsoever. But of course, she's raised to say that. And then my next experience was in second grade. Didn't even know that was a racial issue either. The lady girl was telling me that I was black. I said, I ain't black, I'm brown. And she's like, yes, you are. And I'm white. I said, nah, you peach. I'm sorry. I'm like, excuse me, do you not know your colors? I see your colors. You see mine. I said, I got in trouble because I drew on her and I drew on myself. Because I took a brown crayon. I said, see, this is brown. I drew on myself. See how that blend in?
Oh my Lord.
And then I took a peach colored, I actually had to find the peach color too, and I drew on her. And then I took a white crayon. I said, you see, this don't work. And I took a black crayon on myself. You see, this don't work. And I got in trouble. But I was like, I have a point to prove. And I proved it. She was mad too, but it was all right. I proved my point. But I'm just saying, like, being in that kind of setting made me go, okay, I don't like, I would have done well with homeschool. Like, I would have done perfectly fine with homeschool if that was more accessible during that time. But school for me, and then some teachers, man, I'm sorry. That's why I asked you, how do you feel about teachers that teach above, like, over 25 plus years? But we'll get to that in a minute. But I had some good experiences in school. Don't take it like I had a lot of bad ones, but I just didn't really care for the social part of it. That's basically it. Education, yeah, could have been better, but I didn't mind learning. Because when I got in college, I said, if someone died and gave me money, said I will get money for the rest of my life, I would never have to work. All I had to do was go to college for the rest of my life, I would do it.
There are some people who do that.
Hey, I'll give you my info if you DM City Country Chicks podcast on IG. I will do it. Just DM me. I'll give you my info.
Oh my gosh.
Just let me know.
There are plenty of professional students.
Oh, I would love to be one.
Well, it kind of means you have to have either student loans or keep applying for scholarships.
Oh yeah, in my current situation, I'm talking about if someone were to leave me like a will or something where I would constantly get paid my food, my gas, living expenses, and my tuition, I would go to school for the rest of my life so I would not ever lose that. Like if I had
Interesting.
I would do that. I love to learn and that part's fine. That's why I love college so much because I didn't have to worry about the social ladder or nothing like that. I mean, there's grannies and grandpas in there taking math 101. So it's like, okay.
It depends on the school you go to.
Well, I went to a community college, so everybody was on the same level.
Yeah, that's different. No. It's not that. It's more so like if you go to a 4-year institution, more than likely you're not going to have such a diversity when it comes to the student population during the day. Evening classes, yes,
Yeah, I
but
agree
during
with
the
you.
day, it's a traditional college campus, and so that social aspect is it can still be there.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I really do because when I was at a university for 3 months, it was it
Three,
felt
wait a minute, the semester is longer than that.
oh not 3 months. Yes.
What happened?
I'm sitting here thinking 3 months, and it wasn't 3 months. It felt like 3 months, as long as I was not there or there. But my first semester, there, I was it was like high school all over again, and I was just like, I had the worst roommate ever, and I was just like, this is, and it was that same stigma. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'm just a country bumpkin that doesn't know anything, you know.
Hey, yeah, I'm confused. I need you to help me with this one. Okay,
What?
you said when you were in elementary school, for example, the kids would look at you differently.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when you went to college, you said it's the same stigma. I'm not understanding. Like, help me understand. Elementary school, they were looking at you like, what was so different about you to make you stand out?
Girl, I wish I knew. I really do wish I knew. Other than the way I spoke, that's the only thing I could, because I did get that a lot. Oh, you sound like you're white. I'm speaking English. What, who sounds like what? Like, I never understood that. Like, I remember one of my classmates calling, because you called the house phone back in the day, and
Oh,
you
yes, you did.
you didn't
Yes, you
have
did.
caller ID. You had to pick it up, say hello. Person hung up the phone, then called right back, and when said hello again, they was like, "Is this so and so?" I said, "Yes." Oh, I thought I called somebody else because it didn't sound like. I'm like, uh, what? So like, I guess it was just how I presented myself, how I was, because I mean, I didn't look any different than they did, in my honest opinion. I just looked like a grubby little kid, just like they did. You
Not
know,
grubby.
look, kids is ugh. Kids are nasty. So I'm like, I don't understand. I don't remember anything crazy from like third outside of from teachers. I don't remember anything crazy from like third to about mid fifth grade. But after that, it was just, it's that same, oh, you're different. Oh, you're acting different or you're presenting yourself different. I guess I didn't look like the stereotypical black female of that time, whatever that was at that time, because I didn't know a fad or a fashion sense at all. Like I told you, I wore t-shirt and jeans. I didn't care. I got that same stigma in the church too, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, I got that same
Hmm.
stigma in the church. Yeah. Because I didn't dress like them. I didn't act like them. That I used to laugh at how they would talk and I wouldn't understand what they're saying because they would leave out so much stuff. But you know what I'm saying? When you got this going on, that going on, I'm going, what's this and what's that? Like, give me the details of what this and that is.
Oh my gosh.
And they're just like, you know what I'm talking about? No, I don't. And I would just be sitting there going, yeah. And I have no idea what they're talking about. And it's like, if you want me to know something, you've got to actually tell me. As I used to do that sitting in the hair shop in the hair salon. I would just sit there. They'd be talking, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. None. Just it's talking all over my head, technically and literally. I get it. But
Interesting. Okay, so tell me about college. You said when you got to college, it felt like high school all over again.
yeah, I didn't fit in. I had a group of friends in college that were, we might as well, what we ended up doing, it was actually very inappropriate from what we said, but we called ourselves um the clear,
Mm-mm.
no, they called me clear because I didn't act one way or the other. I just acted like myself, is what they said. They ended up calling me, but which we all thought it was funny. So don't take this as, the worst thing ever. But they would call me the graham cracker because I never acted 100% black. I never acted 100% white. I just acted like me. I was a mixture. And I was just like, okay, that's hilarious. Cause the fact that you took a racial stigma or racial slur and tried to make fun of the fact that people have this idea of what you have to be was hilarious to me. But of course, it died because it was not, just didn't age well. But now I don't have any contact with any of those people now. But it's just, we had a misfit group of people that we hung out with. It was different races, different backgrounds, white, black, Asian, Indian, like it was just everywhere. And me and a guy that we used to go to the same high school before he moved, um, freshman. It's just, I don't know how we ended up picking the same school, but we did, and we ended up being like kind of like leaders of this little group. We'd get together and we do some of the college movie nights and things like that. And if anybody needed some help or something, or if they need someone to go to the clinic with them or stuff like that, we were kind of like the president and vice president of this misfit club because they couldn't fit in their stereotypical group. Because if you didn't pledge, or you didn't you didn't get on scholarship, or you didn't have connections, or whatever, you were just out to hang dry. No one really tried to help you or anything like that. You have to be in the group, you have to be in the RA's palm of their hand or whatever. And it was just annoying to have that like societal burden on you to either you have to hang with the right crowd and act like a certain way, or you didn't and you got shunned for it, or you weren't accepted for not acting how you should act. Um, so that was that same thing, because I remember someone trying to get me to pledge Delta, and they was like, "Well, we don't know which one you are. We don't know if you could be a an AKA or a Delta." And I was like, "How about I do neither?" And she's like, and they looked at me like, "What? How can you like, okay, you're black and you're at a college and this is an all white college, this isn't an HBCU, you should hang with us." I'm like, no, like, I'm not here to hang out, I'm not here to make connections like that. I'm just here to do this. Like, I have other things that I have to do. I can't do that. And it's, I just hate that. It's one thing to network, it's different when you're expected to look and act a certain way. And I had that same stigma across the board, female, male, it did not matter, you know. So yeah,
Okay.
hmm just weird. So no, I like the education of school. I don't like social.
I'm sorry you had that experience. Well, that it was a negative experience.
Well, just the social part was negative. Well, some of the education was negative too, but I had good grades. That's not the negative. The negative part is like what you find out when you're an adult that you didn't learn in school, and it's like, hey, this is important, I should have learned this in school. Like, this part right here was part of something I should have known. Then later on down the line. But anyway, You love school
I love like I
inside and
love
out.
school. Yeah.
So what is
Like I
your
don't what do you mean inside and out? Like
like? Okay, so
like
I
this
split mine up. Like I didn't like the social part, but I like the education part for the most part. You like
um
education and social?
yeah, I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out I see them as synonymous. Like I don't see how can you go to school and not be social? Like you can't go to school and sit by yourself all day.
Yeah, you can.
But you can, but like, okay, I'm thinking, and when I think about school, because of my life, I'm always thinking about school in terms of elementary, middle, high, undergrad, like undergrad, traditional grad, and then I call it like my non-traditional grad. Like I've been to grad school as a traditional student. I lived on campus, but then I've also been a graduate student as an adult working.
Hmm.
So I look at all of that. Um, so no, I wasn't that sociable as a non-traditional grad student because again, I was an adult. I went to work every day and I went to class at night or I went to class during the in the summertime or something like that. So no, that wasn't very social. It was just more so go to class. Well, no, because even in class, you get to know people. You form like little groups in class, like when you're studying, or you may hang out after class, go grab a cup of coffee or something like that. So I guess it still is social. It's just not like when you're living on campus and you got all day to do things. It's just you may do something in the evenings, but you can still be sociable. So that's why I guess I look at them as not one and the same, but they are closely intertwined, I would
Hmm.
say.
I wasn't very sociable in college when I got my associates and my certification.
Did you live
I
on campus?
my associates, no. Mm-mm. I
So
didn't
you would
live.
like live at home and you would go to class and go home.
I'll go to class, go to work, go home, or go to work, go to class, go home, whichever. So my social was my coworkers, not my. Because see, my as soon as class was over, there was something I had to do, which was either go to work or do whatever I had to do for the class or what have you, and then go. Like there was no study with these people, unless I was just like we had a group thing that we had to do while we were there. Fine, but because I had labs since I was a biology major. I had a lot of labs and stuff, but I never, text that kind of thing. Like I wasn't a caller or would take, go out to eat with them, nothing like that. Mm-mm. Now, when I was at the university, yes, very social because I was there. But when I went to the community college, no. And when I went to another community college for my cert, I was sociable to an extent, but then I also was pregnant while I was getting that other
But
certification.
see,
So,
you're an adult. That's a different experience too.
as an adult, well, I mean, what do you mean by that?
And when I say adult, like you are adulting, like not in age, but in life responsibility. You were an adult, like you had a baby.
Yeah, my second
Yeah,
time
that's
going to school, yes, I was more adulting. I was married, I had a kid on the way.
yeah. So when
That's
I'm
it.
thinking about college, yeah, I was
But when I'm thinking about before I even got married and all that, and I was just getting my associates, I still know I didn't. I didn't hang out with no
mm,
one. It was miraculous that I ended up getting the advisor that I got because it was actually an act of God because I was sitting in the library studying by myself. That's another thing. I tend to do better educational wise by myself. I don't do well because I'll just talk or I won't be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And the advisor of that community college came up to me and she said, "Hey, she said, what's your major?" I said, "Biology." And she says, "I'm looking for you." And I'm like, "Who are you?" you know,
oh gosh.
it is like, I mean, because as an adult talking to another adult, I'm like, yeah, even though I'm in this library and you're older than me, that doesn't mean anything. You could be crazy. Yeah, I'm a good 45 minutes or an hour away from home. So yeah, gotta be cautious. But no, she was actually looking for a minority female to take the scholarship that she found that she wanted someone to take, and she was just eyeballing. She was literally that day walking around eyeballing people trying to find somebody. I just happened to be that person. So it was a miracle. Like I said, it was a miracle that I even, because I was really, I was a loner, by choice. By choice. Because as an adult, you're just doing your own thing. But I did hang out. I hung out with coworkers. I didn't hang out with my
Okay.
college.
Well, as long as you had a tribe, everybody needs a tribe. And so as long as you had that, it's okay.
Oh yeah. I wasn't, yeah, don't take it as I was just, I'm gonna do this by myself. No, I had people I talked to and what have you. And also in college, because I kind of want to say I was a fossil in a sense, because I had taken a year off or 2 years off or something like that and then came back. The people that are coming back are, freshmen, and I'm coming back as like half of a freshman, but I'm an older freshman. So it's like and then everybody's age is kind of all over the place, especially in a community college. You really don't know whose age is what unless they got gray hair, they're showing their age. So it's like, as an adult, living life as an adult, everybody has their own things that they're doing. So didn't have that college life experience in that aspect, but I did have a college life, and I was happy with it because my goal was to finish. Like I had a goal to finish, and I still have that goal to finish. I think I got like 4 classes left, and I can get my bachelor's.
Well, do it.
All right, CEO.
Do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. You can do it.
Yeah,
I believe
inflation.
in you.
I'm gonna do it. I just don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh, okay. There
No,
you
I'm
go.
not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not giving up on it. It's just that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I didn't give up on
That
it.
could be another podcast
Yeah,
episode.
that's another one. That's a whole nother day. But
Okay.
next thing, unless you have something to add to that.
No, I had a very traditional
Nah.
school experience.
Except for
My,
you were more nerdy in the
no, I'm not nerdy.
activities. No,
No, I'm
the
not
last time you
nerdy.
said you went to some conference for spring break, you weren't going to the beach party and you was at a conference. I'm like you were more.
Oh yeah, the conference in Oklahoma. Yeah, I mean, I was active. That's what I'm saying. Like when I went to undergrad, I lived on campus. I lived in a dorm. I was an RA for 3 out of the 4 years. I was head RA my senior year. That was amazing. Um, and I was in student organizations. And then I still have, friends aside from that on campus. I was active in my church away, when I was away at college. I found a
Mm,
church home in the city I was going to school in. So I was active in multiple regards.
mm,
So, yeah.
mm.
But I do better as a student when I have other outlets. Or I do better just in general. Like if I just have that one thing to do, then I can get bored mentally. So even as an adult, I have like a couple of irons in the fire, but that to me gives me more of a fulfilling life.
Mm.
Because if I have to do the same thing over and over, I just get really bored and then I'll just stop doing it. But if I have a variety, like even when I eat, like the nachos and the waffle, I do better when I have a variety of things. If I just have to eat the same thing over and over, I get bored.
So you're the
So
kid that when you're being taught something, you want the new way to be taught, not the same way you were taught for the past 4 years or whatever. You want a new challenge. You want a new whatever to up the ante in a sense.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to learn the same thing over and over again, number one.
Right.
But I'm the person once I know it, now what?
Right. That's what I'm saying. You want the
Like,
next challenge to.
yeah, like I was a kid, especially like in math class. Okay, I
Ugh.
already know that. What else are you gonna teach me? I'm not gonna sit here for the next 2 or 3 weeks learning what I already know.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna know more. Like if you can't teach me, I will teach myself. And I
Mm,
did that. Like I learned how to do algebra in the fourth grade. Like
mm,
basic algebra, I did because my mom was in community college at the time because she was a stay-at-home mom. And so then she went back to school when I was in the second grade. And I just found one of her books one day. I was bored. I didn't have anything to do. And I found her math book. And I just started learning like the patterns. I was like, okay, this is what they did. And I'll never forget the
Mm-mm.
day I learned how to solve one-step equations. I was in the basement on the floor, on a concrete floor with her algebra book. I found it in a
Geeking
box.
out, geeking
Oh
out.
my gosh, it was just like that's one of those one
Oh
of the best days of my life.
my God.
So yeah, I like to learn, but I like to balance that. So I was always the kid who I always had at least one or two jobs, even in college. I didn't work. My parents did not allow me to work in college, but I would get like the workaround job. So I became an RA. So that gave me a little bit of money in a room.
Mm-hmm.
Or then when I that was my sophomore year. And then my junior year, I was like, okay, I need some more money. So then I found out about not Gear Up, uh Trio student what's it called? Not student support services. Was
Mm-hmm.
it Gear Up? They would have the classes on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Upward Bound. No, it was Upward
No,
Bound.
okay. Okay, I have
Upward
no idea.
Bound. You never heard of Upward Bound?
No, I know what that is. I was like, I had no idea what you were going for because I didn't
Yeah, I was
know.
like to think about Gear Up is another thing, but it's for high school students.
Upward
Well,
Bound I know about, but granted, I
Upward
didn't.
Bound is for high school students too, though. Okay,
Right.
anyway, but it's another. Upward Bound, I think, was first. Gear Up may have come second, but Gear Up is really popular now.
Mm,
But Upward Bound, they would have on Saturday classes.
mm-hmm.
So I would teach math classes on Saturdays because we had an Upward Bound chapter at my college campus. And so
Mm-mm.
I would make money that way. But my parents wouldn't let me get like a traditional job where, you would go work in the evenings and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I just had to find creative ways to make
Mm-mm.
money. And then when I went to grad school, I got a fellowship, and that's how I made money. But then the fellowship paid for my college. Like I got my master's degree for free through my
Mm.
fellowship. So yeah, but that also gave me the social aspects too, because my fellowship was through the Department of Residential Life.
Oh,
So
wow.
with the fellowship came the tuition, a free apartment, but then the work was to work in one of the residential communities. So there was
Mm.
that social aspect there. So that's what I'm saying. Like I can kind of intertwine my life with the social and the work and the school. That's why I
Yeah.
can't see them as disjointed. I see them all
Mm.
as together.
I got you. I understand. No, yeah, I'm not saying no as in I get you. I understand what you're saying. I kind of resent you for that because I wish I'd have
Ugh,
jumped. I'm not gonna. I kind of wish I jumped to more social things, but I think
but I'm an introvert for the record.
not really.
I am. I am.
That's what I'm saying. I kind of because it's like, wow, you're introverted. You're very much introverted now, but in college you were very much,
Mm-mm.
extroverted as far as because you had to be around people and you had to deal with that stuff. As me, I was more drained, and so I was like, I was more introverted during my college years. But then I think I was introverted because of my goal, and I didn't want anybody to stop me. And then now I'm more extroverted because it's almost like I didn't socialize a lot in my younger years, in younger years, in my college years.
Now in your old age.
Now my old grumpy age, I gotta socialize with these young whippersnappers.
It's whippersnappers.
But no, okay, all right, I understand that. I do have a question because a little bit more about this field, hence you saying you taught while you were in college and you had the whole college experience as far as you actually were around a lot. I'm assuming around a lot of teachers and stuff like that just based on what you had to do. How do you feel about like the school systems now and college now and all of that stuff as of now, like from elementary, primary, whatever, to you know college life?
Okay, I don't. I want to answer the question properly. So, what do you mean? What do I feel about? What do I feel about what aspect of
Like
education?
because you, based on what you're saying, like the social and the education part, you clump it
Hmm.
together. So I kind of, since you clump yours together, you can kind of answer it in a sense of like overall. As for
Hmm.
me, I would still separate it. So I'll answer it first so you kind of get what I'm trying to ask. I am not 100% for college unless you actually need college for what you're going for, like doctor, lawyer. I would say some more that I think should be in college, but doctor, lawyer, um, anything where you cannot learn it from YouTube or you should not learn it from YouTube, and you have to have insurance to make sure you don't get sued.
Okay.
Anything
That's your criteria.
that's my criteria for college education. But because there's so many entrepreneurs out now and so many ways to learn to do things without having to go to college and to make a living, college is, if you want to go, great, because of what you want to do, professional degree. But just to be a business owner, you can get some local training. You do not have to go out and spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to get that education. As far as the elementary or the K through 12, I really wish, not knocking teachers at all, because hey, y'all do wonderful work. Do not think I'm bashing teachers at all. I just feel like the way that school is now is better in comparison to when I was in school. Because literally, I remember learning the same history for 4 years straight in high school. I learned nothing but United States history for 4 freaking years, and it was the same thing every year. And I find that disturbing. I
Yeah,
literally did.
I do too.
I didn't get any outside history outside of if I wasn't reading the Bible until I got into college, and I learned about Western civilization. I learned about what was now Western Civ is where I really got a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, why weren't they teaching like this world history? There was no world history. And if there was any pieces of world history, it was what the United States did in that world history or what Christianity did in that world history.
Oh,
Very
wow.
heavily whitewashed. So now it's a little bit different. Also, with the like high school age, because they start actually pushing them to learn a trade in a sense. Instead of you having to go to vocational school if you want to do a trade, you actually start to get a little insight on what you may want to do. So if you want to be a nurse, they'll already start teaching you anatomy classes or start teaching you some clinical words that you may need to know. If you are interested in um dadgummit, I lost it. Finances, anything in the banking world, stuff like that. They'll start teaching you some of that stuff. And they actually will teach you stuff as an adult. I was never taught in school taxes, how to balance. My parents taught me taxes, balance checkbook, finances, how to work finances. I was like, yeah, they taught me that in school. And I'm like, huh? No, they didn't teach us that kind of stuff in school. They didn't teach us about, like economy and things like that, supply, demand, how to work in the world. They just groomed you to be able to go out there and work 8 hours because you were in school for 8 hours. And that drives me crazy because even to this day, school is still like that. They're grooming you to be in that 8 hour workday. And it's going, no, you don't have to have that. That's my only downfall to that I don't like about the school system now. And I do feel like it's more of for some kids, the social part of it is needed. Like, for example, the CEO, the CFO was taught that. I think I said the wrong name. Either way, y'all get what I'm saying. The CEO, she needs that social aspect of it because all she has is her younger brother at home. She has to learn how to talk to people her age without talking down to them like they're 3. She has to be able to communicate with people and accept authority, even if you don't like authority, because she still has that. She's not well with that. Same goes with the pastor. He's going to have to get a little bit of that social standing. But the education part, I'm going, look, why do we have to have them in there for so long? Why is that necessary when a person who is homeschooled, they're not having any social issues, or they may or may not. I'm not saying I know
They
all.
some do.
I'm saying some do, But as far as they get done in a lot amount of time and they can still learn what's happening in the real world. And that is one of my issues with school systems then and now is until you get older, you're not really learning about like, yeah, you're getting the concept of what's math used for because it ain't really used for nothing but being able to critical think. There you go. Think and be able to solve a problem. Got it. Well, isn't there another way to do that without having to do a math problem? Because I'm sorry, I don't use trigonometry for anything. I don't use algebra too much for anything. If I want to know something, I'm pulling out a calculator. That's pretty much what I'm doing. And I'm not saying it was not beneficial. No, it helped me to learn to think and solve a problem. But I just feel like there's some other way to do it outside of keep hitting them with the same old every year. Like it gets old, it gets tiring, it gets, like I said, the history, that history drove me nuts. But and the sciences, eh, obviously everybody didn't take science because something doesn't add up in the past 4 years. But it's just like there's something, some of this, I had it right on the tip of my tongue. There's a reasoning, and I can't think of what the first word was, but there's a way of reasoning to get through like life. And I just feel like that the education, not the education can be better, because no, it's already getting better, but like the way that it's going, I just wish it could be a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know how to solve that situation since I don't know much about the teaching world. I don't know much about the education world outside of that. When my child was doing virtual at home and she could be done in 4 hours, I'm going, why is she there all day? If, granted, she's just a little more advanced in some stuff, but do you understand my
Well,
question after I answered, or did it make it worse?
no, it's a lot of things I would want to touch on. We just don't have time for that. But okay,
Okay.
I'll start with the school days. So in elementary school, I'm guessing they start around 8 o'clock
Yeah.
and they're done by 2:30.
Mm, three. Some of them it's
Okay.
three.
So if it's from 8 to 3, that's eight. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that she finished all of her coursework in 4
Yeah, she had done her
when she was work the virtual setting.
yeah, she when all her like actually logging in, doing the class, doing the class there and then doing whatever work she had to do, she was done before lunch. So she had to be on at 8 and then she'd be done before lunch. All her work, whatever she had
Okay,
to do.
so let's think about that in the grand scheme of things. If there's a 7-hour school day, she's done with her coursework in 4. That other 3, you have to think about the human component of there's probably about 20 to 25 kids, little people her age. You still have to feed them, so that's lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
That's their 2 specials that they're gonna go to during the day. So specials could be anything like elementary electives. So that could be
Mm-hmm.
PE, that could be library time, that could be art, that could be a foreign language, but they're going to have 2 specials
Mm-hmm.
probably. And then you have to account for all the transitions that are taking place. So whereas she was at home with a parent and she was just kind of knocking out her assignments, you have 25 of those. You have to build in time to transition from one task to the next. It's probably going to take about 15 minutes to get that done. So those little increments of time, it adds up to a 7-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
Walking to the cafeteria and back, that takes time. Bathroom breaks, I'm sure they have a few of those throughout the day. That takes time.
Yeah.
So they're not wasting time. But again, when you're doing that with a group of kids, it inherently takes time to do that. So it's pretty much the same thing that she did. She just kind of got it all done with you, and you still had to feed her lunch. I'm sure she still got to go outside and play. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
she did like some type of fun activity, whether it's arts and crafts at home or I don't know, just more independent play inside the house. Like, but
Right.
she still had a 7-hour day. It just wasn't at school.
Understandable. Understandable.
Okay, so that's one thing.
Thank you for clearing that up. Even though I kind of knew that, I just kind of wish it was. I just wish it was a little bit more. And I get it. 25 kids versus the one that really made me go, yeah, think about that.
And most of the time, you're not going to have 25 kids sit down and work 4 hours straight.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's not going to, I mean, that's just developmentally. I mean, even as an adult, you're going to get up and in an office setting, you're going to get up and kind of go to the bathroom, stop by the water cooler, go get a cup of coffee, something. We do
water
things
cooler?
that break. So about those history classes that you mentioned.
You said water cooler like it was 1982.
Okay. In an office setting, where do you get your water from? We're not going to a water fountain. That's gross.
In the 1980s, yeah, you're probably going to a water cooler. But in 2022,
what do we call it now? I'm sorry. What is it?
In 2022, I'm bringing my own water.
Well, some places still have the water delivery. The filtered water, and it's a water. It comes in the water dispenser. You know what I'm talking. Anyway,
just a lounge area. Just go get your snack.
Okay, we're gonna go. Refresh your beverages.
Said water cooler. Stuck up. Okay, but yeah.
I don't know why you were taught the same history for 4 years, because if I'm not mistaken, I am older than you.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, okay, wait a minute now. Don't. Hell yeah. She's way older than me.
Look, she said water cooler. I did. So I mean,
anywho,
and then by her standards, she been working since she was 2. So I mean,
well, no, I've been working since I was 16, but I promise you, I've always had at least 2 jobs.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Anywho,
one of them had a water cooler. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting back on track. I'm on track.
And my point with mentioning my age is, I know when I was in high school, you have different, the histories were different. So I think as a 9th grader, you had World History 1, then you had World History 2, American History, and then your senior year. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I have the deacon just threw up.
Okay. All right.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Bye. Hey guys, that was an abrupt ending. Yeah. FYI, the deacon is okay. We'll continue the discussion on the school system, teachers, and all that next week. Because I do want to hear City's explanation on how she feels about it and what she thinks between what was the question? Yeah, between the difference of when we were growing up and what it is now. Also, I want to thank you guys for being patient and understanding, and thank you for enjoying this so far. I enjoy the feedback that I'm getting. Don't forget to share. It sounds so cliche. Share, like, and subscribe, But for real, share, like, and subscribe. Tell everybody, well, not everybody, but tell people who are interested in podcasts that, hey, there's this nice, light, fun one that they would like to enjoy. You can check us out on all major platforms. We are almost everywhere. And let's see, what else is there? I don't think I got any more announcements. Either way, check y'all next week. Thanks. Bye. Hey, did you enjoy that podcast? So did we. Check us out for our most recent updates on IG at City Country Chicks Podcast.